Is the Ahsoka trailer hiding a major Sith secret? Welcome back to Nerdist News. I'm Dan Casey, and today we're breaking down the latest Ahsoka trailer. On Tuesday, Disney released the brand new trailer for the highly anticipated Star Wars spin-off. The 8-episode series will premiere on Disney Plus on August 23rd with a 2-episode debut. We're going to break it all down for you in just a moment, including anything you might have missed. And while we aren't going to spoil anything major, if you want to go into this show knowing nothing at all, now's your chance to leave because we've got to get to work.
We have a lot of work to do.
Once a rebel, always a rebel.
Okay, let's get into it, shall we? Ahsoka is absolutely jam-packed with references to Star Wars Rebels, both subtle and obvious. For example, Baylan Skoll's line, "We are no Jedi," isn't just a badass way to signal that they are not the good guys. Rather, it evokes Ahsoka during her battle with Darth Vader in the Rebels episode Twilight of the Apprentice. Now, on the more obvious side of things, we get a better look at some of our Rebels favorites after seeing Zeb pop up in The Mandalorian Season 3. We see the crack pilot Hera Syndulla, who's trying to convince Mon Mothma and the rest of the New Republic's leaders to help them avoid another war. We also see the surly droid Chopper and Sabine Wren, the Mandalorian revolutionary who now wields Ezra Bridger's lightsaber. We last saw that blue-haired Jedi when the Purrgil free-willied him and Grand Admiral Thrawn into the unknown regions in the Rebels finale. We can see those space whales later in the trailer, and they look so much bigger than they did on The Mandalorian. Like, Grogu, good luck. You gotta unhinge your jaw like a snake, buddy. Good luck eating one of those. Now, in addition to learning what'll probably wind up being the Akira slide, Sabine's helmet also has a fun doodle of a Loth cat on it. Now, as for Ezra Bridger, he's back in hologram form, and he echoes his message from the Rebel series finale, Family Reunion, and Farewell. There are also two other major callbacks to the Rebels finale. That mural of all the characters together is straight out of Family Reunion and Farewell, and Sabine's shorter hair is from that episode's epilogue.
Nice haircut.
And of course, another nice way to remind us that we are back in the world of Rebels is the music throughout the trailer, also done by composer Kevin Kiner. The trailer also seemingly throws a bit of a wrench into our initial theories about the world between worlds. It also raises a major question about the mysterious Baylan Skoll and offers an unexpected connection to the rise of Skywalker.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
The trailer opens with what appears to be at first an Imperial Lambda shuttle flying towards an unassuming New Republic spacecraft. But this ship belongs to the mysterious Force users Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati. They're about to ruin a New Republic ship's entire day, if not their year. Skoll's voice intones that war is inevitable as Hati turns the poor Mon Calamari aboard into fish sticks with her lightsaber. In case it wasn't abundantly clear, Baylan says we are no Jedi, in case all that murder wasn't an obvious clue. Now, the trailer seems to poke a major hole in one of our earlier theories about Skoll and Hati time traveling back to the events of A New Hope aboard the Tantive 4. Previously, we thought that mysterious liminal space where Ahsoka squares off with Baylan could be an access point to the world between worlds. First appearing in Star Wars Rebels, the world between worlds is an extraplanar dimension that acts as the nexus of space and time in the galaxy far, far away. Accessed through a Super Mario 64-style painting in an ancient Jedi temple on Lothal, the world between worlds allows one to access various points in the past, present, and potentially the future. But the larger point this trailer seems to be hammering home is that time is a flat circle. And in classic George Lucas fashion, the scenes of Baylan cutting a swath through New Republic soldiers aboard a ship harkens back to the ending of Rogue One and the opening of A New Hope, when Darth Vader did the exact same thing. It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Again, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme, every stanza kind of rhymes with the last one. Hopefully it'll work.
Now, we still firmly believe the world between worlds could play a role in Ahsoka, and we say this because trailers, including this one, show Ahsoka in what appears to be another ancient Jedi or Sith temple with similar details to the temple on Lothal. Embedded in the wall above the figure's hands is a large orb, and that is used later to activate a device which creates a galactic map. Now, this detail in particular feels reminiscent of Ezra Bridger's experience with the Mortis gods in the Jedi Temple on Lothal, so maybe another Rebels connection. Ahsoka has been hearing whispers of Grand Admiral Thrawn's return as the heir to the Empire, and this title bears particular weight because it's the same title as Timothy Zahn's 1991 Star Wars Legends novel which introduced Thrawn. And that book could also give us our best clue yet as to who Baylan Skoll actually is. Because at one point in this trailer, Baylan tells Ahsoka that Anakin spoke highly of you. And that's an odd comment. We've never heard of this guy. We've never met him before. So how would he know Anakin Skywalker?
This is where the fun begins.
Well, in Heir to the Empire, there is another mysterious older Force user named Joruus C'baoth. C'baoth. The f*** do you pronounce this shit? In Heir to the Empire, there's another mysterious older Force user named Joruus C'baoth. Once a Jedi Master, C'baoth was obsessed with exploring and eventually colonizing the unknown regions. And eventually he was killed by Thrawn's forces. But he was then brought back to life by Palpatine and his sick Sith science. Now this clone of the dead Jedi Master was summarily driven insane and ultimately turned to the dark side. So, if Skoll is in fact a version of Joruus C'baoth, then it would make sense how we might know Anakin and why he so vehemently denied being a Jedi. But remember, there's also a major mythological connection to Skoll and Hati. In Norse mythology, Skoll and Hati are the twin wolves who chase the sun and moon, respectively, and they try to devour them. During the events of Ragnarok, the apocalypse that signals the end of the world, they finally catch their prey and plunge the world into darkness. And here it seems they're trying to do the same thing. They're trying to catch Grand Admiral Thrawn to plunge the world into darkness and fulfill whatever purported ancient prophecy that they're actually seeing through. Of course, it might not be a prophecy at all. It could just be one of Palpatine's schemes, like, say, Project Necromancer. You may remember that most recently from The Mandalorian. It's a means to resurrect the Empire and himself to bring about a new age of darkness in the galaxy far, far away. Now, whatever the case may be, the point is, Thrawn is clearly the key. And Skoll and Hati are not alone in their search. Joining them is Magistrate Morgan Elsbeth, who you may recall from The Mandalorian Season 2. She had a showdown with Ahsoka on Calodan, not to be confused with Caladan, because nothing in Star Wars has ever been directly inspired by Dune, right? Nothing.
Never.
They're having their evil meeting in what appears to be the ruins of an ancient temple, and it looks like that orb from the temple wall is the key that unlocks a map of the galaxy, maybe of the unknown regions where Thrawn was taken at the end of Rebels. In previous trailers, many of us believed that this space was actually an access point for the world between worlds, and it could still have temporal implications. But for now, it seems like it's almost a 3D visualization of a Jedi or Sith holocron instead. But enough about that for now. Last but not least, the show may also have a shocking connection to the rise of Skywalker.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
In one sequence, Ahsoka's battling a mystery Force user alongside HK-87 assassin droids. Those droids accompanied Magistrate Elsbeth on The Mandalorian.
Behind you!
And behind them you can see large cannons being assembled, and they bear a striking resemblance to the ones underneath the Star Destroyer seen on Exegol in The Rise of Skywalker. But this place doesn't look nearly stormy enough to be that Sith planet. Rather, this naval base and dockyard could be just one facility where the Imperial Remnant is rebuilding their fleet in anticipation of Thrawn's return. Or, you know, Palpatine's once he works out how to properly pilot that old beef puppet Snoke. Anyway, folks, there you have it. That's everything you need to know about the latest Ahsoka trailer. We'll keep you posted over on Nerdist.com as we count down the days until the show's premiere on August 23rd. In the meantime, tell us, what do you think? What do you think Skoll and Hati are really up to?
Everything.
Let us know in the comments below, and for the latest and greatest in the world of pop culture, make sure you stay tuned to Nerdist.com.